Hello and welcome. We are currently looking at your general awareness class assignment part 2, which is dealing with your brands, taglines. There was an important component of this particular section that comes under brands and taglines, that is about celebrities endorsing products, right? So this is particularly a component that deals with brand endorsements. Okay, what does it deal with? It deals with the brand endorsements that the celebrities are into. Okay, so you need to keep in mind this is a very common question. It's a very scoring question wherein you're supposed to be aware about the various brand endorsements that all these celebrities have undertaken. They need to be on your fingertips as it is, the more aware you are. And I think because of the current quarantine period, it gives you more chance, more opportunity to watch things over media. And when you're watching things over media, be curious, okay, this person is probably advertising this product. Which product is he advertising? How is his contract being shaped? Remember what you need to do. Most of the times, what do? We have a tendency of skipping ads, right? We have a tendency of skipping the advertisements. But when you talk about brands and endorsements, that's the beauty. Now you need to be very curious. Imagine if you're watching something on whatever platform, right? And there is this advertisement that has come. This advertisement is very crucial for you, for your preparation, because you need to be aware about which celebrity is the person, which celebrity is a brand, has a brand groped in or hired in order to ensure that they are able to market the product well. So you need to be more aware about these things, and I would say that just watching television would really help. So what you could do, you could just build a routine where you're watching television or you're watching things for 2 hours and just take your ads very, very seriously. So in between, if you see a Snickers ad, see which celebrity is doing the Snickers ad. If you see the Byju's ad, see which celebrity is the Byju's brand ambassador. If you see an advertisement that is dealing with Hero Honda, or any advertisement that's dealing with maybe Hyundai, so you need to be aware about all of those. Those are very important details, right? So here, let's just look at this question. This is an important question that we are covering through this video. There are certain famous celebrities whose pictures you can see in the general awareness class assignment 2. Now we need to figure out the possible brands that these celebrities are dealing with. Okay, so the first person that you have in your list is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Now Mahendra Singh Dhoni, he's known to be Captain Cool. He was one of the most successful Indian captains because we won the T20 World Cup Championship. We won the World Cup also under him. So you need to remember that of course he is considered to be India's most successful, one of the most successful and most loved cricketing captains, right? And not just captains, but cricketing figures. And therefore he has so many endorsements. For example, if you're watching TV properly these days during your quarantine period, you will see that Mahendra Singh Dhoni, when you talk about Mahi, as he's commonly shortly called, Mahendra Singh Dhoni or Mahi, he is endorsing for a startup called Red Bus, right? So Red Bus, if you've seen that advertisement where Dhoni is saying that you don't have to be a king, you need to book your tickets well in advance if you're traveling via a bus, Red Bus. So this is a startup. Then another important startup that you have is Cars 24, which is dealing with used cars, right? So if you've got a second-hand car, or if you've got a car that you want to sell away, right? So that is what Cars 24 is dealing with, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni is their brand ambassador. You must have seen some ads dealing with Cars 24. That Cars 24 is the correct choice for you. And please remember this Cars 24, you must, if you will notice, he started doing this in August 2019. So he got this endorsement in August 2019. Then he's also a brand ambassador for a menswear brand called Indian Terrain. There is, you can mention all these things correctly, right? Just make sure that you're making a note of these in your entire assignment itself. That will be very important. Or let me just write it down for you in a very neat fashion. There are certain problems with this tablet a little bit, so there'll be some issues. But when we are talking about MS Dhoni, right, this is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He is the former Indian cricket captain. If you know about him, I'm sure you know about him. When you talk about his brand endorsements, please remember we're writing it in order. He is the brand ambassador for Red Bus. He is the brand ambassador for Cars 24, right? He's a brand ambassador for Cars 24. Right now, we're just looking at Mahendra Singh Dhoni. We're not looking at Ranbir Kapoor right now. Then Indian Terrain. Indian Terrain is a menswear brand. Indian Terrain. This is a menswear brand that Mahendra Singh Dhoni endorses. This is a menswear brand. Last year, if you were watching television aggressively, you could have seen that, you know, he was in the Colgate ad, which even Deepika Padukone did it with her mother, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni did it with his wife, right? So if you remember the Colgate ad that he had done with Sakshi, that is his wife, Colgate ad, he had done it with his wife. So there was this Colgate ad that had come in last year, which he had done it with his wife, which even Deepika Padukone had done it with her mother, right? That Colgate ad, your smile is important. Then he's also been seen in Indigo Paints advertisements. So he's a brand ambassador for Indigo Paints also. One very important endorsement for you is GoDaddy. GoDaddy. All these startups are very important. Okay, please keep this in mind. So when you talk about GoDaddy that Dhoni is endorsing, this is basically a domain registrar or a web hosting company. So for example, if you want to start a new business, you can actually have your website developed on GoDaddy at a very cheap cost. So Dhoni went on saying that, you know, register your company, give your brand visibility by enrolling in GoDaddy. Right? So if, for example, let me just help you out and let's just do it correctly. I hope you will all make proper notes because of that. Okay, let's just quickly try to make proper notes only. So if we are talking about Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Red Bus we've seen, Cars 24 we've seen, GoDaddy is important. Why? Because GoDaddy is a startup that is dealing with web hosting. So GoDaddy, what is it? This is a registrar or a web hosting company. For example, if I'm opening a new company, right, and I want to have my own website, then I can go to GoDaddy and get a website at a very cheap cost and a domain name at a very cheap cost. Okay. One more important brand endorsement that you must have seen Mahendra Singh Dhoni is Bharat Matrimony. Bharat Matrimony is also a brand endorsement that Mahendra Singh Dhoni has been a brand endorser for. He's been the brand ambassador for. Please remember this. One important brand endorsement that Mahendra Singh Dhoni has is with MasterCard. Okay, so one important endorsement that he is having is with MasterCard. I'm sure all of you know about Shahid Kapoor. Shahid Kapoor's father is Pankaj Kapoor. So that advertisement is with Pankaj Kapoor that Mahendra Singh Dhoni is having, and this is important. Why? Because, you know, he is supporting the government's agenda for a digitally empowered society. So he said, I am supporting the government's agenda. Because this entire government is very proactive since the first tenure also to create a digital India. That's how most of the bills that we can pay now online itself, right? So supporting the entire government's initiative or government's agenda for creating a digitally empowered society, So Mahendra Singh Dhoni is also therefore very popular because, you know, he's handpicked his entire brands properly, looking at the vision, looking at proper. He also was a brand ambassador for Jharkhand because he's coming from Ranchi, so he was also the brand ambassador for Jharkhand. You can remember that. Okay, then one advertisement जो हम सब जानते हैं, Snickers, माही तू hungry है इसीलिए तू पागल हो जाता है, लड़कियों की तरह हो जाता है. Slightly sexist an ad, but still. So Snickers India is also a product that Mahendra Singh Dhoni is endorsing. Then if you know, right now of course the lockdown period is there, but Netmeds.com, this was helping you book your, just click a picture of your prescription, doctor's prescription, you can go on Netmeds and you could make sure that, you know, your medicines are being delivered to you timely. So Netmeds was basically helping you with your medicines, right? Then of course one more important one that you have is your Ward Viz. Now Ward Viz, why this was important? Because this was a 15 crore endorsement. Mahendra Singh Dhoni got 15 crores for this endorsement. What is Ward Viz? Ward Viz is a cybersecurity company. It's a German cybersecurity company. Do remember, you may get a question that which of the following is a German cybersecurity company? Ward Viz is a German cybersecurity company. German cybersecurity company. Okay, so Netmeds, Warwids, two interesting ones. I don't know if some of you play this entire game, but many people went crazy. He's a brand ambassador for Dream 11, that is a fantasy league. That means if a match is being played, right, you already predict, you try to predict which team will win. You try to make your own team. So Dhoni is also the brand ambassador for Dream 11 as well as Amity University. Empowering the youth, empowering the nation. That's a university. It's a private university. So Dhoni is also the brand ambassador for Amity University. So you can see that Mahendra Singh Dhoni is endorsing a plethora. He is endorsing a many. He's endorsing many products, right? So do keep this in mind, because you might get a question on which of the following products is being endorsed by Dhoni. Okay, so from Red Bus, Cars 24, Colgate, Indigo Paints, Godaddy, Mastercard, Snickers, Wardwiz, Dream 11, Amity University, these are all getting endorsed by Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Okay, so do keep this in mind, because this is definitely important. So do definitely have this thing in your mind, that when we are talking about Mahendra Singh Dhoni and his endorsements, then definitely all these are important endorsements that Mahendra Singh Dhoni has undertaken. Okay, now moving ahead, let's just quickly look at Ranbir Kapoor. All right, so Ranbir Kapoor is the second person that we're looking at. So let's just quickly look at his brand endorsements as well. Now, Ranbir Kapoor is also one of the most loved Bollywood celebrities, right? He's 36 years old, and of course, he's very popular for his affairs also that he's undertaken, right? So he's also a very famous brand ambassador. He's been a very popular brand ambassador. Okay, let's just look at some brands that Ranbir Kapoor has been endorsing. Okay, you must have seen this ad of Flipkart Fashion with Alia Bhatt, right? Flipkart Fashion, this is an endorsement that he has. So Flipkart Fashion was an endorsement that Ranbir Kapoor was having. Lay's is also an advertisement on the occasion of World Smile Day. That's how you see the new Smile campaign of Lay's. He's the brand ambassador for Lay's also, along with Alia Bhatt again. Then Cadbury's Oreo, the Oreo biscuits that you have, right? Ranbir Kapoor is the brand ambassador for the same. You must have seen Asian Paints Ultima ad, right? Asian Paints Ultima Protect, where he's playing the role of a singer sometimes, right? So Asian Paints Ultima, that's also a product that Ranbir Kapoor advertises for. Lenovo is also a brand that he's known to be an ambassador for. Lenovo, as well as Pepsi, of course. Pepsi has also been in his kitty. Renault, earlier it was Nissan, but please remember, now it's not Nissan anymore. Now he's endorsing for Renault. So please remember, these are certain companies that he is the brand ambassador for. Two of the most important endorsements are with Alia Bhatt, and the others also you can remember. Okay. Alright, Amitabh Bachchan, of course, a very famous celebrity. He's a veteran Bollywood actor. He's been seen many a times as an important figure whose endorsements you usually see. He is, of course, you must have seen this entire firstcry.com. Because of his granddaughter Aradhya being of that age, he gets this endorsement for firstcry.com. So which is basically dealing with the clothes range for children. So firstcry.com is a brand that Amitabh Bachchan endorses. You must have seen certain ads also on television. So you can keep this in mind that firstcry.com is a brand endorsement that's there with Amitabh Bachchan. Along with that, he's of course seen as a brand ambassador for Kalyan Jewellers, that is with his wife as well as his daughter. So Kalyan Jewellers, that's with his wife as well as with his wife Jaya Bachchan and his daughter Shwetananda Bachchan. Okay, then Dabur is also a brand that Amitabh Bachchan endorses. Imami is a very important brand. Why? Because Imami wants to say that if a 75-year-old person can use a skincare product like Imami, then all of you can also, right? Parker Pens, because in KBC he was signing the checks with the very famous Parker Pens, right? So Parker Pens, Gujarat Tourism. So please remember this also, Gujarat Tourism is also there. So Dabur, First Cry, Imami, Parker, Gujarat Tourism, Kalyan. These are certain brands that Amitabh Bachchan endorses. Okay. Now Shah Rukh Khan is again an important case. Okay. Now when you talk about Shah Rukh Khan, okay, Shah Rukh Khan at one point, see, this is an important case. Why? Because Shah Rukh Khan at one point used to have 40 brands under him. He used to endorse 40 brands and he used to charge a good amount per brand. Okay. For example, Deepika Padukone, it's believed that she charges 88 crore rupees per endorsement and 10 crore per movie. This is Deepika Padukone's rate, right? So he used to charge a lot of money. But now when you talk about Shah Rukh Khan, he is losing in his ratings because, he hasn't really performed well on the box office. So there has been a dry spell. At the box office. None of his recent films have really done very, very well. So therefore, it's rightly said many a times that he's no longer the Badshah of brands, right? Therefore, he is no longer the Badshah of brands. He's no longer the Badshah of brands. He used to be the Badshah of brands at one time. Like I said, he was having 40 endorsements, but not now anymore, right? Because he's got a very dry spell at the box office also. So there has been a dip in his endorsements that you can see. There's a dip in Shah Rukh Khan's endorsements that you can actually see. But still, nevertheless, please remember some important endorsements that he's still having. Hyundai is one of them. So Hyundai, which is a car manufacturer, they still have him as the brand ambassador, right? A very important company that he's endorsing for currently is Byju's. Okay, now Byju's is a learning app. What is Byju's doing? Byju's is basically a learning app. Byju's, by the way, is also the sponsor of the Indian cricket team. Byju's is also the sponsor of Indian cricket team. Please remember this. Sponsor of the Indian cricket team. So Byju's is also sponsoring the Indian cricket team. Please remember this. And when you talk about Byju's had selected Shah Rukh Khan in 2017 as their brand ambassador, and within an year's time, Byju's became a unicorn. That's a big achievement for a startup. So please remember, it's not that Shah Rukh Khan's seen a dip in endorsements, that he is not doing really well, but the brands that he's endorsing are doing very well, which is a great thing for brands to always advertise. So please remember, once when Byju's selected him as a brand ambassador, the next year itself Byju's became a unicorn. Okay, so you can remember that. And of course, he's very popularly marketing or endorsing Big Basket. Big Basket is also something that you would have seen him endorse. That's again a startup grocery delivery app, just like Grofers, right? So Big Basket, Hyundai, Byju's, these are certain products that Shah Rukh Khan is endorsing, which are important. So you can keep that in mind. Okay. Alright, Deepika Padukone is an important person when you talk about brands. Okay, please remember her current net worth is approximately, so when you talk about her current net worth in 2020, this is approximately 103 crore rupees, 103 crore, and she's one of the highest paid actresses currently in Bollywood, highest paid actor. Certain things that you definitely, certain brands that she's having in her kitty, we'll discuss that. She has approximately 2.6 million followers on Twitter. 26.8 million followers, 26.8 million followers on Twitter. So she's definitely having that reach for which brands are looking for. You can remember that. Now let's just look at some brands that Deepika is having in her kitty. Okay, Britannia Good Days ad you must have seen, where she's basically seen as, like, you know, the daughter of a vendor, and what she does, she gives these Good Day biscuits to small little kids, right, who give her this paper boat. Okay, so Britannia Good Day is an endorsement that she's having. L'Oreal is also L'Oreal Paris, because you're worth it, right? That's also there. Tanishq is an endorsement that she has. Tanishq is an endorsement. Vistara, you must have seen these big posters of Deepika with Vistara Airlines. Vistara Airlines, a Tata Singapore Airlines initiative. It's one of the most comfortable domestic airline carriers that you have, right? Then Axis Bank, again, Axis Bank is another endorsement that she is having. So you can remember that Deepika Padukone, one of the highest paid actors in the Bollywood industry. Britannia, L'Oreal, Tanishq, Vistara, Axis Bank. These are some endorsements that she is having that you can definitely keep in mind. Okay, do keep these in mind. Alright, Virat Kohli, again, very popular. Now, Virat Kohli is important, okay? Do keep this in mind because he's having a lot of endorsements that you definitely need to keep in your mind. So, when we talk about Virat Kohli, let's look at his endorsements, okay? Let's look at Virat Kohli. Now, one thing that you need to remember, Virat is very, very famous for, and people envy him, is for his Puma endorsement, right? With Puma, what he's done, in February 2017, Puma had signed Kohli, and Kohli became India's first ever sportsman to sign 110 crore. First ever Indian sportsman to sign 110 crore endorsement with a single brand. So what did he do? He had partnered. So Puma signed a contract with Virat Kohli for 110 crore with one single brand. Okay, and this agreement will end in 2025. Tentatively this will end in 2025. Okay, so one of the only important Indian sportsmen to sign such a huge amount of an endorsement deal with one single company. Otherwise, Indian cricketers or Indian sports people, they have endorsed products collectively, but not for a single brand. Okay, do remember that's also because, you know, he's considered to be the health mascot also. Okay, then of course you have Myntra, where he is seen with his wife Anushka. Myntra, you must have seen that ad where he's talking about fashion and he's there with Anushka in that ad. Myntra is your e-commerce website, right? So I'm sure all of you know about this. Myntra is your e-commerce fashion portal. This is your e-commerce fashion portal. So he is endorsing with Myntra also. Then Google Duo was also an advertisement that he done with Anushka. Google Duo was also an endorsement that he had done. Volani, you must have seen his ad. Volani is a product of Sun Pharma's variant. Volani, Sun Pharma's variant, right? Then you must have seen him in the ad of 2Yum. This is a brand. 2Yum is a brand of Guilt-Free Industries Limited. Guilt-Free Industries Limited. This is a brand of Guilt-Free Industries Limited, right? 2Yum. Okay, then of course Manyavar was another product that he was endorsing, and he was earlier endorsing with his wife Anushka, but last year Anushka was replaced by Alia Bhatt. Okay, in the Mohe collection, Manyavar and Mohe collection, she was replaced. Okay, then American Tourister, the collection of bags that you have. American Tourister was there. Uber India, you must have seen this Uber India ad that he has been roped in as a brand ambassador for. Philips Trimmers, you must have seen. even with Valvoline, right? So these are certain brands that he has been endorsing. Please remember, he is also the brand ambassador for Audi India, and Audi was Audi Q7 was gifted to Virat Kohli. Okay, in 2017 it was gifted to him. So you can remember. So Myntra, Puma, Google Duo, Volany, 2YUM, Audi, Manyavar, American Tourister, Uber India, Philips Trimmers, Valvoline. These are all important endorsements that Virat Kohli has been having in his kitty. Okay, then of course we've got Alia Bhatt, very famous again. She's very young and still considered to be one of the brand icons, right? Fashion icons as well as Bollywood celebrity icons. So she's of course endorsing many products. Now of course Lay's is a product that she's endorsing with Ranbir Kapoor. And please remember, on the occasion of the World Smiles Day, 4th of October is World Smiles Day. 4th of October is World Smile Day. World Smile Day. So on the occasion of World Smile Day, right, she was along with Ranbir Kapoor hired as a brand ambassador for Lay's. Okay, that's how you see the Lay's Smile campaign being conducted, right? Recently she replaced Anushka Sharma in the Manyavar Mohe. You must have seen that, she was all around in the Manyavar Mohe lehenga of her. So she was there in Manyavar Mohe. She's also the brand ambassador for Uber Eats. Uber Eats, okay, not Uber, but Uber Eats. Uber Eats is your global online food ordering and delivery platform. She's also the brand ambassador for Nokia. She's a brand ambassador for Nokia. Sunfeast Dark Fantasy is another brand that she endorses. So there is Sunfeast Dark Fantasy. You must have seen that ad of Sunfeast Dark Fantasy. Mango Fruity with Varun Dhawan. Mango Fruity is another advertisement that she's been seen in. She's a brand ambassador for. So you can remember that also. Mango Fruity is also a Mango Fruity is also an endorsement that she has. Please remember, she played a role of an air hostess in Badrinath Ki Dulhania, and therefore Frank Finn hired her as their brand ambassador. Right, Frank Finn hired her as a brand ambassador. Mango Fruity, fresh and juicy, right? There again, she was seen as the brand ambassador. Then you have your Caprese Girl, right? Caprese Girl. This is bags. Ever since she started her career, she's been with Caprese. Lux and Sunsilk are also two brands that she's seen endorsing. Lux and Sunsilk are also two brands. Cornetto, very popular brand ambassador for Cornetto, right? Then Philips straighteners, you must have seen her in that ad. Garnier, say hello to Garnier Light. 1 week freshness and bright, right? That entire ad that plays. Flipkart fashion with Ranbir Kapoor. So Flipkart and Lay's are with Ranbir Kapoor, but otherwise Lay's, Manyavar Mohe, Uber Eats. Also Make My Trip. You must have seen with Ranbir Singh, Make My Trip. She's also the brand ambassador for Make My Trip. Okay, so Uber Eats, Manyavar Mohe, Nokia, Sunfeast Dark Fantasy, Mango Fruity, Frank Finn, Make My Trip. Oh my god, she has many. Cornetto, Philips, Garnier, Flipkart, all these are there when you talk about Alia Bhatt. Okay, so you need to keep these in mind. They're of course important. Okay, do keep these things in mind because they're definitely extremely crucial. Okay, now one more thing before we end today's session. I want you to look at this question that you had of international corporates and their taglines. Okay, international corporates and their taglines. Very important question, right? Let's just quickly look at this question. Shave time, shave money. Many people must have thought that it's save time, save money, but please remember that's not the correct answer. Let's just quickly look at this question because this question is important. A question. Shave time, shave money. So shave time, shave money. Shave time, shave money. This is an example of alliteration. Okay, alliteration, money. What is alliteration? Where you have words almost have similar words with the same alphabet starting together, right? Shave time, shave money. It's not save time, save money. Shave time, shave money. This is the tagline for Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club. Please remember this. Next one's very simple. I'm loving it. So I'm sure all of you know that already. I'm loving it is the tagline for McDonald's. I'm loving it is a tagline for McDonald's, right? So here, as you can see, let's just look at this. I'm loving it is a tagline for McDonald's, right? I'm loving it becomes the tagline for McDonald's. Go further, very famous tagline of Ford. So you must have seen cars like Ford Endeavor, Ford EcoSport or EcoSport, right? So Ford is go further. Invented for life. Invented for life is Bosch. Invented for life is Bosch. Invented for life is Bosch. Okay, Bosch. Invented for life is Bosch. Every little helps. Every little helps. Every little helps is a tagline for Tesco. Every little helps is a tagline for Tesco. Every little helps is a tagline for Tesco. Okay, what is Tesco? Tesco is a UK supermarket behemoth. When you talk about Tesco, so whenever you talk about this company called Tesco, what is Tesco? Tesco is this UK supermarket. So if you've actually gone to UK, you would be able to see this. This is a UK supermarket behemoth. Behemoth means like a big giant, okay? So Tesco's tagline is every little helps. It's a beautiful tagline, right? You have other famous taglines also, like for example, Nokia, connecting people, right? Or Sony, make believe. Sony is make believe. Remember this. Subway, eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh. We keep on having from Subway, but we'll never remember what is a tagline. Eat fresh is a tagline, right? Subway is eat fresh, because they're just giving you vegetables, so they're like eat fresh, okay? Like Gillette, the best a man can get. You've got Gillette, the best a man can get. Or Nike, just do it is Nike, right? Okay, leading innovation is Toshiba. Leading innovation is Toshiba. When you talk about leading innovations, this is Toshiba. Imagination at work is GE. Imagination at work is GE. That's your General Electric. Your General Electric. Innovation and you, this is Philips. You must have seen it whenever even Alia is advertising for the straightener. Philips, innovation and you. Because you're worth it. Aishwarya Rai has said it many a times. This is for L'Oreal Paris. This is for L'Oreal Paris because you're worth it, right? This is for L'Oreal Paris because you're worth it. Inspire the next. This is Hitachi. Inspire the next. This is Hitachi. Okay, so do remember these are also very important. These are some brand endorsements, some brand taglines of international corporates. Do remember them. So this is Dollar Shave Club, Dollar Shave Club, Dollar Shave Club. So do remember all of these. These are crucial if in case there are certain doubts that you had. So over here we briefly looked at two things. We looked at some important brands that your celebrities were endorsing, and finally very briefly we looked at certain taglines for your international brands, right? If in case you have any doubts, you can definitely reconnect and try to clarify those. Thank you so much.